One's ready. One's ready. Go! 1, 2. 1, 2. 2.
Grind every day, yeah, we aim for the stars. Feet on the ground, but our heads are on Mars. Visions of glory, sweat on our skin. We craft our story, determined to win. We the titans, with hearts untamed. We face the giants in this battling game. Our dreams are loud, echoes of them remain. We stand as one, heading for the Hall of Fame. We chase the lights till the final whistle. Believe it when we say we never settle. We chase the lights till the final whistle. Believe it when we say we never settle. We did it, we did it, we did it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the ONESREADY podcast. You're in the team room. I just surprised Trent. No big deal. Hey, before we get into this next episode though, Tasty Gains, get your creatine gummies, tastygains.com. They not only have the gummies, but they also have the nootropics and all that kind of good stuff. They've got pre-workout that Aaron absolutely loves. I don't know if you, I know you've taken it.
Yeah.
But dude, Aaron, I gave him some of mine and he's just like, he was pretty stoked about it.
Aaron is a consumer. I don't know if you like his body's ability to take high doses of things that would kill a normal human is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
I joke about like my caffeine intake. Aaron could actually do it and have a pretty normal day.
His is for real. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then also we have if you guys go over to our new site, and it's not ours, it's a conglomeration of ONESREADY, Guardian Grit, so Chris Thomas, and then Taylor Starch. We've got an Operator Training Summit website. It's operatortrainingsummit.com. So if you do want to get registered for any of the events that we have coming up, right now we only have Las Vegas on there. If you go to get registered, we only have the Las Vegas event. It's a level 1 event. But we will, as soon as I get the locations and the dates locked in, which I'm sitting at about like a 90% solution right now, we will put the other ones up on the site. Some of the places that we're looking at are University of Alabama, which sounds like that's going to happen. There's a University of Miami that looks like it's going to happen. We're going to go back to Nashville. That's pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to hit San Diego again. And then for the folks that are over in Europe, we are trying to come over there to London in particular. And then the great thing about London is that you're already in Europe. So you already know that it's easy to fly over from Germany, from Italy, from Spain. So it's cheap and it's super easy for you guys. We can't make it to all the different countries. That's just impossible.
Yeah, it's easy for y'all, but for us, logistically, financially, all the other things, taking a week away from the family, getting everything together, flying over to Europe, we're going to need some assurances and kind of pre-sell, I think, most of those slots before we can make that decision if it's worth it.
Yeah. So we'll definitely put it up on the site once I have the location and dates locked in. That's the problem right now, is trying to find places, because it's one thing when I can go and I can call an American place in Nashville or someplace like that and go, hey, it's military, we're doing this, that, and they're like, yeah, right on. But when you have a foreign agency calling a different country, or you have an American agency calling a different country and saying, hey, we're trying to do military training in your pool in your country, it's
not military training. It's training. But
you get what I'm saying. They're like, oh, what's your affiliation and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, well, let me tell you.
Freedom.
So, yeah. We're just here to spread freedom. That's all. So that's the goal right now, is to try and get over to the United Kingdom to help all of you cross trainees and some of the folks that aren't even cross trainees, that maybe you're the son or daughter of somebody over there and you don't have access to a place and you just want to get better training. Or maybe I know there's an Irish dude that wants to come over. Like, he'll fly over from Dublin. He's not affiliated with the military at all or wanting to join. He's just like, this just looks awesome. I just want to come and join. So yeah. Leave it to
the Irish.
The Irish to want to punish themselves.
Yeah. They're special people.
Yeah. But I saw that comment by somebody going like, yeah, smoke these dudes. It was a joke, I know, because we know the guy, but at the same time, it's not a smoke session. It's not a hell day or a hell week or anything like that. It is pure and simple instruction and efficiency and mentorship and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it can be hard. You're going to be sore.
Oh yeah.
But like, we're not coming in at an 11 or whatever, you know?
No, but like this last crew, they wanted it. They asked for it. And it was like, okay, we can do that. Like, we're happy to oblige.
It's a little taste. Taste. It's a good time.
Yeah. So yeah, head over to operatortrainingsummit.com.
Could we do it on a base over in Europe? That's the problem with doing it on a base, though, is anybody that's not a retrainer or already in the military wouldn't be able to get on.
Right.
Or the coordination would be way more difficult.
So Lake and Heath used to have a pool, and by used to, I'm talking 20 years ago, had a pool. And
how old are you?
Yeah, I know. They filled it in. It went away. Milton Hall itself never had a pool. They had a community center off base, but I think that is since COVID shut down completely. I'm not aware of any pools on like Ramstein or any of the concerns in Stuttgart, or
maybe we should just go to the deed to have some training.
Come out there.
Yeah. It might be easier. Everybody just fly into the deed. It's fine. We'll get you on base.
I think there's a pool at the place in Jordan. Maybe that's where we just go.
Yeah, let's go to Jordan
and we go, hey, everybody fly out there for it.
It's funny that in a lot of ways it would be easier for us to just go back to the Middle East to conduct some of this training than it would be to go to Europe proper.
Oh man, yeah. All right. Well, this is going to get a little bit political. Let me share my screen. If you guys don't know who Jordan Carr is, I don't know if you've actually met her or not. I've not met her, but I'm aware of her and all that kind of good stuff.
Who is the Jordan Carr?
Who is the Jordan Carr?
Oh, I know who Jordan Carr is. I've never met Jordan.
Ooh.
I knew this is the one that you were going to pull up.
Yeah. Okay, so let me read it real quick, and then we'll go on from there, especially for the audio listeners. So this is at Jordan L. Carr, Karr. And it says, got my COVID reinstatement decision back. I will not be accepting. Commanders can break the law and get promoted, but we have to fight to even compete for a promotion to a rank we should already have. The terms they want me to accept: reinstatement of 03 or captain. I should be an 04 or major. Getting ready for my 05 lieutenant colonel board, with an opportunity to compete for 04 after I'm reinstated via SSB. I think SSB is Service Selection Board, or I'm not sure what SSB is.
Yeah.
4 years behind my peers. Oh, and in order to get back pay and come back 4 years behind my peers, I have to accept a 4-year service commitment with no guarantee I'll ever promote. But they've given me a consolation prize option to retire as an 03 if I do 20 years and don't manage to promote. Break the law, get promoted. Mental illness, double separation pay. Do the right thing, they will make your life hell. Another humiliation ritual they want me to perform, not just 4 years behind my peers, but they want me to come back in a lower rank than people I have supervised. Seriously, people I've supervised are O4s, and they want me to come back as an O3 and hope that the SSB will promote me. Who would agree to this? Do I recommend others go through this process? No, not if you're going through the Air Force, and not if you have PTSD from all of this. I don't think a single Department of the Air Force person going through reinstatement has accepted the terms they've been offered, because they are terms likely developed by a team, parentheses, no one knows who is on, of people who had a hand in kicking us out or were apathetic. At least with the Army and the Navy, we know that the people on the team understand the abuse we went through because they too went through it. Just more anxiety and PTSD went through a year of waiting for an answer and MEPS humiliation ritual for nothing. Everyone who told me this would happen, congratulations, you were right. Now there's a lot to look into this. So what's your initial take on it?
My first thing is it just the logistics of it, right? The difference between an O3 and an O4 is almost nothing. You know what I mean? Like you promote to major. It's not. I think as long as you have SOS under your belt,
As long as
it's
you're
not
breathing.
it's not a big deal. As long as you don't have any super negative paperwork, you're going to be a major, right? Like it's the first gate where they can get rid of the people that probably shouldn't have been officers in the first place, or the ones that are sleeping with enlisted folks or whatever, all that other type of stuff. So them bringing her back as an O4 is not like the same thing as someone that got separated as an E6 coming back as an E7 type thing, where there's like testing and requirements and all that other stuff. It would be super easy. And I don't think there's a reason not to do it. It seems like they're trying to be difficult on purpose, and not take anything into account while bringing these folks back.
Yeah, I agree. I think she should get 04. Like, all you got to do is be breathing to get 04. Like, it's not it's not like enlisted promotion testing, WAPS testing, where you've got to take a test. You got to have, they weight all your medals and your time and grade and all that kind of stuff. And enlisted EFDP, enlisted force distribution board or something like that, where you've got to meet a board of people and they rack and stack your package and score and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You just have to be breathing to make 04.
The biggest thing is they're like, hey, but like if you don't get promoted, we'll let you get to 20 years as an 03. We'll let you be a 20-year captain and retire, which is basically, as far as I can tell, them giving her the bird.
Yeah.
Like, it's a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. And and she's talking about 4 years behind her peers. When you look and talks about, hey, these are some of the people that I supervised. Well, some people would say, well, what's the big deal, dude? Were you afraid of getting passed up? And to a certain point, that is correct. However, when you're with your peers and then all of a sudden they start getting promoted and you're still at staff sergeant or tech sergeant or something like that, and then by the time you finally get it, they're going up for their next promotion. And maybe it's the competitiveness in me, maybe it's the whatever that's inside my brain, but there is a certain part of you that ends up going like, dude, WTF, man. Like, what is going on? Like, happy for them. The fingers are pointing internal to me, but like, you start to go, dude, what the hell's going on here? And I know that there are plenty of active duty folks out there, especially in the Air Force, that know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, and on the officer side, so putting aside my thoughts and recommendations for how the Air Force should be, on the officer side, your peer group is everything. These officers have these ridiculous conversations where they all get together. It's where did you go to school and commission from, and what year group are you?
Yep.
and that means something to them, and it's very important. And if you're not maintaining pace with your year group and all these other things, because I don't know anything about Jordan, but like most of the officers, most of their conversations revolve around them getting promoted. It has very little to do with them taking care of people. But these are all like the officer internal conversations that they all have. So it might seem like not a big deal. It's like, well, you haven't been working for like the past 4 years, and we kicked you out for something incredibly stupid. But the fact that you're going to hold someone's back pay and then make them sign an extra 4-year commitment, which I don't have a problem with the 4-year commitment. It's the coming back as an O3, really. Yeah. That's going to set this person back a long way. Now, do I think that it is really that big of a deal? Not really, but it's not a difficult thing that they could have done. Is just automatic O4. It's not hard. And it sends a message that it's like, yeah, that was your year group. You should have been an O4 searching, going up for O5. Like, honestly, with the break in service, it's going to take her a while to make lieutenant colonel, probably, if ever. But at least you're like saying, like, we do a little bit to catch you up and put you where you would have been.
Yeah, because even if they had allowed her to come in as an O4, she would have a lot of, I'll just say, professional development. Right. And that's not a slight on her. That is just, I'm talking about, all the education stuff. Yeah. Okay. You got to have SOS to then promote to major, but then even majors have IDE, whatever that acronym stands for, which is school and that kind of stuff. So they have that to then promote for their, lieutenant colonel bird and all that kind of stuff. So like she would be behind, but she's even more behind if you give her an O3.
And she doesn't have any yearly reports with major on it yet.
Right.
And in those positions that are for majors, with the type of wording and responsibilities that her peers that didn't leave have over the past 4 years in their records. So it would be a long road regardless. And she'd probably be like an 18-year lieutenant colonel pickup type of thing. You're not going to make 06 before 20, but yeah, like, so like there's no reason not to give her the O4. It's not going to be an easy road regardless. So it's just one of those things. It's weird.
And I do agree with the 4-year service commitment. Like, well, you've got to, like, when you sign up, whether you're enlisted or officer, you have to have a certain amount of commitment. So like that's just kind of part of it. I think the part, and the way I'm reading it is that she doesn't have a problem with the active duty service commitment of 4 years. It's that plus I have no guarantee that I'll get to promote because of things that you just mentioned.
Yeah, well, and the obviously this is from her perspective, right? And I think the way it's making it sound is you come back as an O3, and everybody knows that SSB is basically a guarantee, but like, is it? Because it doesn't seem like the DAF is like, yeah, we made a mistake and come on back, and like it just doesn't feel like they're like welcoming them back, and there's any amount of contrition there. It's just no, come back as an O3 and try to promote, and basically saying like, and we'll let you retire at 20 years as an O3 if you can't promote, which is, I don't want to say, it kind of sounds like a threat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
good luck, because we're going to keep our eye on you and have fun being a 19-year captain hitting the retirement button.
Yeah, and you don't think that you're not marked coming in here?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and to be fair, like, yeah, that's from her perspective, and the way that she wrote it, that's what I'm pulling out of it.
Yeah, I'm also trying to look up what SSB is so that we can educate ourselves. Okay, going down to the next one. Another humiliation ritual they want me to perform. I think she's talking about MEPS and doing all the medical stuff. Maybe. No, not here.
Yeah,
anyway. She's talking about the lower rank.
If you've been separated for a certain amount of time, I don't remember what that time frame is. You have to go back through MEPS.
Yeah. So there were comments on the old Facebook page slighting her for the PTSD stuff in terms of I have PTSD from all this. Now, I learned a good amount from folks like you and Aaron and some of the, Denny and stuff like that, guests that we've had on. PTSD can come in a bunch of different forms for a bunch of different reasons. Now, the problem is that PTSD also has this kind of negative connotation that it has to be related to combat and war and all that kind of stuff. Whereas you could have a bad car accident and now you have some anxiety and maybe PTSD is not the correct term for it, but some kind of response to a traffic jam or almost getting in a car wreck or something like that.
But it's traumatic, right? Like that's what
Right.
the T is for. It's not post-combat stress disorder,
Right.
which I think most of us is what we, especially in our community, because we've all had the same like twitches about people being like, I have PTSD from my deployment or whatever.
Yeah.
I think as we get older, it's a little bit easier to see like the hardest thing or the worst thing that people have been through, and the way that they process it is the hardest and worst thing that they've ever been through. And the way that they process it is, based a lot on, who they are and how they view the world and the hardest thing that they've ever been through prior to that. And so while the PTSD thing it still causes me to cringe a little bit, it doesn't negate the argument that this could be, that's what it is.
Exactly. And I can only imagine that plus the anxiety that she mentions is an absolute real thing, because I saw it with dudes within my own unit that were not going to get the vaccine, and us at the squadron level were trying to protect them the most we possibly could, or at least I can only speak for me. I was trying to protect them the most I possibly could. But when the authority gets pulled from the squadron level and gets taken up to the group or the wing level, there's literally nothing we can do other than lobby for you and vouch for you. And, I've talked about it before, but I never mentioned his name. He's retired now. So, when Colonel Daniels was the wing commander of the 2-4 Special Operations wing, that was during this entire time, he wanted to boot everybody out that had it or that refused to take the vaccine, and he wanted to give them an other than honorable discharge, which is insane to me. You have somebody who doesn't want to take a vaccine that isn't legal, isn't authorized, and I forget what the U.S. code is that says you can't do it, and they implemented that U.S. code after anthrax, the anthrax debacle, right?
Yeah.
So, and relatively, that is a relatively new U.S. code. So it's not like something back in Vietnam or something like that everybody forgot about. You're talking a U.S. code that was implemented less than 20 years at the time. And now he wanted to boot people out with an other than honorable discharge for refusing to get a vaccine.
Yep. For the illegal orders for everybody to take this thing. And it wasn't even the vaccine that they said that we had to take because they hadn't produced enough of it.
Right.
So, I mean, and I know a lot of people want to make this argument too. Like I saw it on the page is, well, you had orders and you get shot up with so much stuff at BMT. And this is just another one of those things, except it wasn't just another one of those things. It's completely different. Like maybe you should look into what you were shot up with at BMT also and see what that was. Except that this is not something that's been studied. It's not something that was approved. It wasn't a legal order. We know all of these things now. If it's caused a lot of harm, especially amongst young, healthy people, it's not a debate anymore. So all the people that want to come after people like are the person here and be like, oh, how do you have PTSD and you should have just taken the vaccine and like you're shot up with all this other stuff and you were ordered to and this is what you get. Like it's a different situation. If you can't see that, then you're just you literally are that person that I say that we're not in the military, where you're just like a robot. You're just like, no, order. I do what they say. This is what we have to do. Like then that's not the way that it is.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And so going back to the anxiety and the PTSD of it is, when you have some people within your command that are fighting for you, you have some people in your command that are fighting against you and trying to screw you over, that is going to cause, and am I going to be able to stay in the Air Force? Am I getting kicked out of the Air Force? And then that timeline gets extended because then they go, oh, okay, actually we're moving it back another 30 days or another 60 days. And they just keep stringing you along. And that's what they were doing. They were stringing you along. Hey, we're not even going to check out religious exemptions at this point. We're actually going to do that in another 90 days. And they kept, and I know why they were doing that. At least I think is because they were trying to outlast it.
Yeah.
So that nobody would have to get it. Like I know in 06, and he's still in, so I'm not going to mention his name, that he kept delaying. And then what he would do is there would be a problem with the memo, right? There would be a typo, or there would be something like, ooh, man, I don't like the wording of that. And he'd wait until the 29th day or the 30th day when it was due and go, hey, I don't like the wording in this. Take it back, send it. I'll give you 30 days or I'll give you 60 days to return it. And then they would wait to the 59th or the 60th day, send it back, and he'd get it. And he would wait another 30 days and just go, yeah, hey, I'm on a trip right now. I'm going to need an extension. And it's all that, which is good for the folks because they have good intent, right? But it also strings that person along going like, okay, what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
And it's not just, I mean, she's an officer. There was an 06 select that I worked with that was in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
He was a religious exemption, and they kept stringing it along, and that caused him some issues as well.
Yeah. Well, the way that they did all of it was you made everybody all this, you're non-deployable, all this other stuff for this. None of it was legal if you actually read all the paperwork. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Does Colonel Daniels stay with Aaron when he swings through Vegas? I heard they're great
they're
friends.
boys.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, so it looks like Adam Dorito hopped on here and said something too in response to her. Says, Jordan, I'm going to shoot straight with you here. I fought my fight for 15 years. They offered me 03 when I should be in 05. I graciously accepted because it's a privilege to serve in any capacity that I can, because I love the next generation and want to continue to serve because I love this country, and I will continue to sacrifice my life, is what he meant there, my fortune and my sacrificed honor to protect the Constitution. Nothing is ever perfect, nor will it ever be. They still haven't given me my degree. That's right, because he was an Air Force Academy graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Zero back pay was offered. They still have $240,000 of debt in my DFAS record that I'm still fighting. Holy cow, Adam, I was not tracking that.
Yeah, they went after Adam hard. They do not like.
They did.
They don't
They
like
do
Adam
not.
Dorito at all.
No, they don't. I'm still wearing the uniform despite clear retaliation for doing the right thing, because it is the right thing to do. The fact that they offered you back pay for another service commitment and you still have the opportunity to serve this great country is a blessing I could only have dreamed of, and it cost me $250,000 in legal fees. He spent $250,000 in legal fees.
Yeah.
And the Air Force constantly destroying my career, my character, and attacking me for reporting rape at the United States Air Force Academy to even get that offer. I think you really need to sit down and think about it if you want to be a servant leader and sacrifice everything for the men and women you want to lead with zero expectation of anything in return, whether you're doing this for self-promotion in DC or whether maybe you should consider your time in the military to be over and stay a civilian. Really think about that. I hope you find peace in these considerations. Yeah.
So this is the problem with that, right? Like, so Jordan and Adam are gonna probably go tit for tat a couple times on how their experiences are different. And I think what Adam is trying to say is it's an opportunity to get back in and to be an officer and to wear the uniform, and that is from his experience, that is a something that he's willing to sacrifice for. I think Jordan is maybe making a little bit more of a principle-based argument, not willing to budge at all to get back into the military without this being right. So,
yeah.
I'm not saying either one of them is right or wrong, but I think both of them have really emotional arguments, and both of them have been through a lot. I don't think they should be fighting on X about it.
No, no, and they definitely go back and forth on this, so we don't need to go through that. You can go check them out, and if you do want to check out Jordan's post or her account, it is on X, and it's at Jordan L Carr, Karr, and then you got Adam Dorito at Adam Derito.
And I think she sees that she has an opportunity. She's good. She's trying to get Pete Hegseth to come out and say, all of this was nonsense. It was wrong, and this is how we should fix it. And and reinstate people the way that they should be reinstated. So I know Adam's just trying to be helpful, but look, y'all have different experiences doing different things, and so there's no reason for two good people that are fighting the system to fight each other. Y'all need to get along.
Get along now.
Yeah, your fight's not with each other. You're both trying to help each other out. Like it'd be better that way.
Yeah, and she's been extremely, I mean, she's got a decent enough following on X, 26K. And then, you're right, she is trying to get Hegseth to redo a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Man, and the thing is it should have just never happened. That's the real issue. None of this should have ever happened. Whether it's Adam Dorito or Jordan Carr.
I think that one of this highlights one of the issues that everybody has with the government and the military for a long time is no one ever gets held accountable at the higher levels for doing these illegal, immoral, unethical things that they're doing. They just are like, oh, I guess it was a mistake based on this administration is saying that, this is the truth and now you can come back, but they're not going to make it easy on you. Like the DAF, the Pentagon didn't change over when President Trump got elected, and it didn't change over when Biden got elected. There is momentum within the government that stays there regardless of who the president is and who's sitting in and around the White House. So there's probably people of a DAF that don't want to see people like Jordan come back and have to admit mistakes.
And they're pissed that Adam Dorito's even serving in the Army right now. That's the one thing that the military and the Pentagon and the big machine does not like is you pushing back against the system.
Well, it's funny too, because I think the guidance, when you talk about people getting kicked out with other than honorable discharges, I think the guidance was from the very beginning that you cannot do that. And then some of these like wing commanders are coming down and be like, no, like we're going to kick them out because they're not following orders and it's going to be other than honorable discharges.
Yep.
And it's like, so not only is like the illegality grew as it went down the chain in a lot of places, and people like Daniels are just taking it to the next level. And not only did they like not try to protect their people or see things for the way that they are, they tried to make it even worse for folks. And so when you start talking about your anxiety and PTSD or any of that other stuff, like it's going to be a hard argument to say that those people in those positions of authority and power were not making things way worse for people and affecting their lives in a very real way.
Yeah. Yeah. And they did tie it to, well, they're disobeying orders, so I can hammer them and I can go hard. It's like this saying, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going out to the range today. I'm just not going to do it. That is different than going like, hey man, I'm not really comfortable putting this inside my body on a untested vaccine that we already are getting indications very early on that this is not great for people's heart.
Yeah, the doctors that helped develop a lot of that technology, it's not like they all developed it on their own. We're coming out pretty early and being like, this isn't a good idea. Also, the thing that they're giving you is not the thing that they say that they're giving you. And it's all still very experimental. And when we have no idea if it's going to work or not. It doesn't work. It's not an actual vaccine. It's a gene therapy. It's going to affect your DNA and all these other things. They have no idea what's going on with it. And then the military is like, no, you have to take it. So excuse the people actually that can read that were like, hey, maybe not. That's not a good idea.
You want people like that. In reality, that's what you want. You want people to start going like, this is not, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Well,
Instead of just forcing their hands.
People that understand statistics, maybe, you know?
Well, and that's the crazy thing is in hindsight, right? When, and it's fine. If you believed everything that Dr. Fauci said, right? From right off the bat, and then you find out now, well, I mean, not now in 2025, but I think the real everything came out in 2024, maybe even 2023, that he was lying completely full of shit. And like everything that he said, he made up the mask, he made up the 6 feet rule, he made up all these things. He funded all this, right? So just that you can point to it and go, oh, that was just him. That was a bad, yeah, we were wrong about him. No, you got to learn and continue to move on and start being skeptical of anybody that is trying to get you to force you to do stuff. And when you're like, well, we didn't force you to do that. When you close down mom and pop stores, when you close down restaurants, when you close down gyms, when you force people to mask, when you force them to stand 6 feet apart,
when you arrest people on the beach. Great job, Gavin. In case anybody forgot, the mayor of Jailtown, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, was the worst when it came to this stuff. Also, he knew that it was bullshit because he wasn't following any of the protocols anyway. So
yeah, you do not hate these people enough. Governor Christie shut down the whole beach, and yet he took his fat ass out there, didn't he?
Well, to be fair, one of the big comorbidities was being incredibly overweight. So Christie should have been scared because he's a fat piece of shit.
So that's why he closed down the beach so nobody else can go out there so he can make sure he's safe.
Because if he gets sick, he legit will die from it.
Yeah.
Especially if they put him on a ventilator where they just killed a whole bunch of people that way too.
Dude, it's wild, man. The last 5 years has been just wild. And what were we watching? We watched the Truman Show 2 days ago, and it's so enlightening. Like, it's such a good movie, but you see it, and it's 1997 or 1998, and it's before all the reality TV stuff really took off. So it was the first kind of like, in the movie, it's the first reality TV show kind of thing, and it's just really the manipulation that happens in it and the gaslighting. It's wild because you see it now with a lot of stuff.
Oh, like half the country is in their own Truman Show where they're just willingly being gaslit, and it's insane. Maybe not half the country, maybe less than that, but yeah, they're loud.
But it's just, man, since 2015, I'd say, maybe even a little bit before that, things have just gotten wild in the world, especially America, but in the world, and not for the better. It's wild to see, man.
One of the good things about living in Texas, though, was during all the riots, I think there was one BLM riot in downtown San Antonio that they let go until I think a single window got broken.
And that was it.
The cops were like, we done. We are done. We do like property rights and business owners in Texas. It's like, that's a quick way to piss everybody off. And then some of these people were like, we're going to head into the suburbs. And everybody in the suburbs was like, okay.
All right.
Yeah, you think you're scared of the cops? Everybody got guns out here. And everybody was like on edge already. It's like, we will just start shooting people.
Itchy trigger fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a stressful time for everybody.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Aaron and I went to this range day with Brandon Herrera and Donut Operator and a bunch of other people, right? And that one of the people they had out there that was out there just not as like he was invited just like Aaron and I were and stuff like that, but he was the rooftop Korean dude.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was awesome. And And one of the places that he was hanging out at was because this was at the Staccato range out here in Pahrump, right? So
Mhm.
if you've never been there, I don't even know if you can just go out there on your own, but this range complex is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And I've been to a lot of, Darcy tier 1 group, like I've been Shaw Shooting, which Shaw Shooting is also an incredible facility. So all of these places have amazing places, but Staccato definitely put in Staccato level money into
Yeah.
this place.
Dude,
So
Staccato's trying to take over with a lot of the stuff that they're doing. They're just like, we're all in.
it's insane. So they had a rooftop dude, and that's where I saw him. The rooftop Korean was out there. He was shooting a sniper rifle off the off the roof.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they also, because of the whole Trump assassination attempt with the slanted roof, they built a slanted roof with that same. Because you remember what they were saying? They were like, "Well, we can't post up there. It was a slanted roof. How do we come?"
That poor lady, like, that was put in charge of the Secret Service, and they had to come up with an excuse as to why they just sucked. They just blew that entire thing.
I don't think people. I'm sure people realize how bad that whole thing was blown. Like, all
I mean,
of it.
it's hard to miss something like that so terribly. That's where, like, conspiracy, whatever theories, facts come from. It's hard to convince people, like, oh, we just didn't see this. We didn't notice this guy walking around, like, taking notes and doing all the other stuff that he was doing before. No one saw him climb up on the roof and start pointing a rifle. It's just, he wasn't very far away. He was right there. And people in the audience were, like, trying to tell cops, like, there's a dude up on the roof, guys.
Yeah, and everybody's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like my job.
And you're right. You start going, hey, everything can't be a conspiracy. But when you start looking at such egregious mistakes like that, and then you start diving into details about Thomas Crook, you go, okay, now
That's a little weird.
something ain't, it's I was, see smoke, there is fire,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And which t-shirt was he wearing too? Which was, he was definitely not affiliated with that. It was something. It was like Demolition Ranch or something. One of those types that he was wearing their t-shirt, and they were like, "We don't know this dude. He's never, like, like, he just found one of those t-shirts to wear to go do it." And
yeah, Demolition Ranch. Which sucks because the same thing with like Black Rifle Coffee and Kyle Rittenhouse,
Yeah.
Dude, somebody could be wearing our freaking hat or shirt and do a crime, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh great, okay, cool.
Which is ONESREADY.com. Just throwing it out there.
If you're gonna buy something, I mean,
maybe pick up a few. Give them to some of your mentally unstable friends.
We're just, hey, any PR is good PR at this point, okay, guys? We'll take what we can get.
Most of our friends are mentally unstable anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, right at home.
Yeah, see how it goes. But, like, it's just, and then there's, like, so many things. There's the female that was in charge of the incompetent person in charge of the Secret Service. There was that female that couldn't reholster her weapon, that didn't know what to do after Trump got shot. I don't think they sent the A-team or anywhere near it to provide protection while he was on the trail. It was just such a shit show. And it wasn't that surprising. Like, if you know anybody that's been within the Secret Service in, like, the last 15 years, like, there is what you think the Secret Service is like a regular civilian, and then there's the actual Secret Service, which for a long time has, as far as I can tell, just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm not saying some of the snipers and tactical guys that work at the Secret Service and some of the protection folks are not some of the very best in the world, but as an organization, it is not nearly as capable as you think it is.
Yeah, and it's just like any organization whenever they allow broken window theory, right? whenever you allow a little bit, and you know what you allow ends up being your standard. And it's just been this kind of slow decline of that kind of stuff, you know, where where's in Colombia,
Yeah.
they weren't paying their hookers,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Those guys were getting wild everywhere they went.
Yeah.
There's no
They're,
rules. They're the Secret Service. Who's going to get them in trouble?
yeah. They've got diplomatic immunity.
Yeah. They just wish they were the CIA so they could, you know, sell drugs and get truly black money to do whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Just shadow operations.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, hey, that should be a lesson to everybody. If you're going to get a prostitute, you got to pay.
I mean, you
Like, 'cause
never
if
know.
not, you never know, because you don't want some, you know, crazy person, you know, who you just had relations with that's expecting to get paid to start causing a scene outside an embassy or causing a scene downtown, when you're Secret Service and supposed to be protecting people.
Yeah, and they're probably, especially in some of those countries too, where like the criminal and government elements are definitely connected. Like this is not someone that does not have connections within the society that lead to the higher levels. You know, if you think about it, it's like in Mexico right now. It's like they're protesting because the cartels and the government, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
And the president of Mexico is in the hot seat right now because everybody is understanding it now. It's one and the same. It's all the same pot of money.
Same pot of money. There's no difference. It'll be interesting to see what happens down there with several other countries down there in, you know, South America, Central America.
I mean, we're parking boats off and I like to say boats because it messes, the Navy gets upset. We're parking boats off the coast of Venezuela. You know what I mean? Like, it's getting a little spicy down there.
Yeah, man. Just reminds me of the Cody that we had on yesterday.
Yeah.
Just flying around in helicopter, targeting stuff.
Dude, you guys go out and watch the what's Cody's last name?
Dickerson.
Cody Dickerson episode. Because if you watch Peaches and I Face, while he's describing the job that he got in the Navy and then he wanted to go be a SEAL, I don't know. In my mind, I was like, why did you want to go be a SEAL? Because this job is
awesome.
Like, and he was like, oh, no, and the guys didn't like being on this helicopter because we did all this like sub hunting and all this tactical stuff, but we didn't get the saves if someone went overboard. And I'm like, who cares about the sailor that went overboard? That's stupid. Like, you guys are doing cool stuff, man.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Let them go get that save. Like, geez, dude.
Oh,
and he's like, but I wanted to go to Bud's. And I was just like, but why? I don't understand it.
I don't know, man.
You found the dream job, dude. And it's easy to say from where we sit, right?
Yeah.
But,
except that they're going out on float
yeah,
for a long time.
That's
and
fair.
he comes back and his kid's 5 months old already. You're like,
Oh, dude.
oh God.
The Navy.
I don't know. I don't know how the Navy does their recruiting for ships and submarines and stuff like that. I mean, hey, it's cool. It seems like a, you know, cool job. But when you start talking about once you're underway and you're out in the Pacific or something happens, it's only like a Red Cross message that's going to get you back. And even then, if they can, because if you're out someplace and they can't get some kind of airlift to you, you got to wait until you come back to port or port someplace, and then you can commercial back.
Maybe. The Navy treats their people in a way that is very different than the way the Air Force treats their people. Like, you have no personal life. Like, the Navy is very old school, it seems like, in a lot of those ways. If you are 10 miles from getting home and something happens and they want to turn that ship around, it's gonna take 8 miles to turn that ship around anyway. You might see the coastline and your family waiting for you, but you're heading back out. Like, they don't care.
There's not going to be a helicopter that comes out to get you just to take you back. It's, hey, duty calls. We're heading back out.
Yep. Do your
for
job,
an unknown amount of time.
Yeah. No, I think it's just one of those things too, where as before you join, you don't understand the reality of anything, right? It's like talking to kids that have never seen combat, and they're like, "I want to do it," and you know, someone like Peaches here understands the nuances and what it's actually like to live that life, deployment after deployment after deployment, and to do a lot of that stuff. And not to say that it's all bad, but there's a lot more to it than you think it is. And living the reality of it is a lot different than the 18-year-old you in the recruiter's office think it's going to be. I think there is like a certain romanticism to the Navy and the ocean and all those other things. So like, I think it's not as hard as we think it is to get an 18-year-old to sign up for that. And I mean, there's a lot of cool things. The Navy's wild with some of the stuff that they do. And the amount of secrecy around some of the Navy stuff is insane.
Dude, what some of those boats and ships can do and the missions that they conduct are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
But you have to be in the Navy.
But you got to be in the Navy. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, if you're a beach bum or something like that, you're sitting here going like, "Oh, dude, San Diego, brother, woo!" You know, being out on the ocean, you know, it's going to be amazing.
But like you see those like videos of when they'll drop the ramp on some of those boats and let everybody go swimming in the ocean.
Yeah,
the submarines will surface and everybody gets out and they play in the water, and like you're like, "Oh, that's cool," and it's like yes, that is awesome that you're out there all by yourself in the middle of nowhere swimming in the ocean. And then what happens after that?
Yeah,
you go back down and you hot bunk, and every day is exactly the same. And
how many days before you got it from when you went underway to where you got some liberty to go swim like that? How long were you underwater or above water, but you know, working? Then you get a little chance to take a swim, which is wild because I don't know how many people actually would get in that water. When you talk about you're in the middle of the ocean in thousands of feet of depth.
I don't know. I'd let other people get in first. Yeah.
I'm fine with it. But like, when you actually start thinking about like everything that's underneath you and everything that's around you and how deep this water actually is, like,
yeah. I mean, you have to just for the experience, right? Yeah. But like, I meant like, it's hard for me to even picture it. Like if you're like out there on like an aircraft carrier and there's no other ships in sight, you're in the middle of the ocean and they're like, "Let's go swimming." It's like, whoa, I'm not going to die and think I could have. Yeah. I have to, but like, ugh.
Yeah.
Gives me the willies.
No, I don't know how the Navy, I got to assume that the Navy's meeting its recruiting numbers as well. I think every service met its recruiting numbers for 2025.
Yeah, it's weird. Why are people meeting their recruiting numbers all of a sudden, Jared?
I don't know. Marines never changed their standards either. I don't think they ever had a problem recruitment.
I still love the picture of the Marine generals in there with Hegseth just being like,
"Stone cold."
All right.
Yeah, this is so we had to come to this. This is status quo. We never lowered our standards.
No fatties. They're like, okay. Yeah.
Anything else?
Some GO in charge of like the Rangers is like, "What are we talking about?"
And I could just imagine some of the Air Force generals showing up. Now there's some Navy generals as well, for sure, that showing up, and then you get the Marine generals and senior enlisted, and the Green Beret or the Ranger one just looking, going like, "Hey, look at you, you're disgusting,
dude." There needs to be more GO on GO hazing, like. Marines, just drop the professionalism for a little bit and just mock everybody else openly. It would be good for everyone.
Yeah. So going back to a movie, we were watching Grease was on the TV, right?
Ew.
Yeah. And I couldn't help but notice there were no fatties in that movie, and that every single dude and woman, now granted, it's a movie, right? So they're not going to put but when you go out now and you see so many people, adults and high schoolers, walking around in pajamas, like they wear their pajamas out to go run errands or just out
to fly on airplanes. Yeah.
Or wearing them to school. Dude, there are high schoolers wearing pajamas to school. It's wild.
Well, is it the high schoolers' fault, or did the previous generation, did their parents fail them in a pretty serious way?
No, it's the previous generation. It's the parents.
I just, I always have to bring it up.
Yeah.
That everyone wants to be like, oh, these kids these days, and they're that don't care and are wearing their pajamas. It's like, well, where are their parents at?
Yeah, where did they learn it from? Their parents. Now that doesn't take away some of the responsibility from the teenager or the high schooler or the young adult that's now graduated, because guess what? You're sentient now. You can, make your own decisions, but still, like, dude, it's wild to see.
Yeah.
I think I told you about the debate I was having, right? About teenagers having a hard time finding jobs right now.
Do they have a hard time finding jobs?
So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it is or not, but you have some of my daughter's friends are, my daughter's got a job. She's, and doing fine at it, right?
Mhm.
And
weird.
Yeah. But some of her friends have problems finding jobs. And I was like, okay, well, are they having problems finding jobs? How hard are they actually looking? Like when you say, yeah, I'm really struggling to get a job. Like how much are they actually working to get a job? And then, so the debate I was having was with my wife about, she's like, well, it's hard for them. I was like, is it? I was like, because, you can apply online, you can go in person. They got all these places that say they're understaffed and they're hiring.
Mhm.
Why do you think they're being turned away? She's like, I don't know, because they don't have the skills. I'm like, they're going for entry level jobs. I was like, could it be? Like I said, I tell you what, you have our daughter that walks in, and then you have somebody who has septum rings, piercings all over their face, emo hair, and all that kind of stuff, and colored hair. I was like, which one are you picking, like, to hire somebody? She's like, well, the person that doesn't have all that stuff in their face and all the alternative. I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
it's not on the business to accept them. They are applying for the business. So you adapt to what they are doing, which is the same thing for the Air Force. The people expect the Air Force to change them. Guess what? You join the Air Force. You either assimilate or you bounce. Same with you coming into the country. If
Yeah.
like, hey, we love immigration, right? We love our immigrants,
Well,
but you
also, same
assimilate.
thing with the Air Force. If you get that job waiting tables or whatever it is that you're doing, right? And then you end up being really good at it. And then one day you show up with your little nose ring back in that's against company policy. You think the manager might just be like, nah, it's all right. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you bring in a lot of money. You've been here a while. I'm going to, like you can get away with a little bit more. But if you're in the interview process and they're like, hey, you can't have blue hair and we don't want all of this covered in jewelry. Like you can wear it. They're not saying like when you go out at night on your own, you can't put all that crap back in your face, right? That's none of their business. But then if you're there for like a year and you put one back in, or maybe like a little bit of fun stuff in your hair, but people still react to you because you're a good waiter or waitress or whatever it is that you are, you can get away with it a little bit more. But like you have the skills to back up a little more flexibility. That's how the world works. And also you might have to compete for some of these jobs. It's a competition out there. You're like that's life.
Yep.
And then I guarantee though a lot of this is, well, I don't want that type of job. I'm a special person. I don't want to wait tables. I don't want to wash dishes. I don't want to work at fast food. I don't want to do X, Y. I don't want to work at a gas station. I don't want to do it. I'm too special. My parents said I'm too special to have that job. My daddy said I don't have to have that type of job. I applied to be a secretary at an insurance firm, and they said no because I don't have any experience. Well, how do I get experience? It's like, girl, guy, you're applying for a job that's way beyond your experience level.
Yeah.
So eat a bag of dicks and go find some experience somewhere.
Yeah. It's like, when we talk about buying yourself freedom of movement, right? If you're a dude on team, whether you're in the pipeline or you're actually an operational unit on team, and you are the dude that everybody goes to like, when I know something needs to be done, I go to you, like Spencer Boss was that dude for us, right? Everything, anytime I know I needed something done and I didn't need a bunch of questions, or it's just like, yeah, and it's going to get done. It's going to get done well. You go to them. That buys you freedom of movement, because
We don't
then,
even give Spencer a hard time about his nipple rings anymore. You know,
yeah,
like we're just like,
and they're massive,
fine.
like barbell rings.
Dude, you do you. But as long as you get stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I don't want to see you with your shirt off, but
Ever.
I mean, you know, you got freedom of movement from me, man.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, he's going to hear that, and you and I are going to get a text or a phone call.
Yeah. Which is fine. Hey, but like that's the thing though, is that it's hard to get a job. Like, I'm not saying it's easy to get your first job, but like, I'm just telling you, there's tons of jobs out there. Everywhere you go, hiring. You got to be humble. You got to be able to work hard. You got to be able to make some sacrifices. You know, you might not have your weekends off and all that other crap. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't even know how many jobs I had where the weekends were like what you did. You know, it took me a while to get like, and it's not like the desk jobs were much better. Like, I finally worked my way up to working collections at Discover Card, which was mostly a 9-to-5 cubicle land where you think is going to be better. And it was way worse. It was way worse.
Yeah. Did you really do that?
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. I would call you during dinner and be like,
hey, you need to pay up, sucker.
You're a little bit behind. Well, you have to do it different. In Texas, you have to be nice. Other places, you can threaten them a little bit with like liens on their property and stuff at a certain point. Women, you have to be empathetic with when you call them. At least these were all my strategies. And then you have to adopt like a 10% of their accent and isms while you're on the phone with them. And that tend to work really well.
Wow. Did not know that about you.
Yeah. Texas, if you call a dude in Texas and he sounds like a dude in Texas, like he's not from Houston or Dallas, you know,
yeah,
you have to apply to his like your word is your bond type of thing. And I know times are hard, but like we're gonna work through this problem together so that you can get this off your chest. All right, because you said you're gonna pay it and you spent the money, and we're gonna set up a payment plan to make this happen.
And you made an agreement, and word is your bond, that kind of thing, huh?
You'd come up with all these strategies, yeah.
Dude, we've been doing this for 6 years now, right? You know, we've been doing this podcast for 6 years.
Yeah.
This, like, here in a couple days. I mean, when we're recording this here in a couple days. And I had no idea. I did not know that about you.
That's how you learn about people. It was a really interesting job in that way.
I bet it was.
Dude, the amount of time it took me to figure out that Win is how you pronounce the name that's spelled Nguyen, because I did not grow up around a lot of people named Win. I finally had some dude, like, because you get it wrong like 100 times, and you're like, is Mr. Nguyen? Yeah. And the way it works is the system calls like 100 people at once, and whoever picks up. So there's always that, you wonder why there's that pause when you say hello. It's because it transfers you, and then your information pops up on the screen as I'm supposed to start talking. And so you have about a millisecond. Hey, is Mr. or Mrs. And then you're looking at that name and you're like, and then they just hang up, you know. But finally someone was like, hey bro, it's Win. And I was like, thank you.
Where the hell were you educated at?
Dude, public schools at Utah. That's where.
Nuts. Well, all right, everybody. Don't forget to go over to ONESREADY.com if you want to pick up a piece of merch, and if you want to register for the Operator Training Summit, especially the one that we have coming up in Vegas in December. That's Arrive 19 December. We're going to do land-based stuff on the 20th, and then all day in the pool on the 21st. Go over to operatortrainingsummit.com and get registered. And we'll see you later. See you.
Bye.